Hello, I'm Alex Chang, and this is the journey of how I went from being the black sheep of my family, scrubbing dishes in my brother's prestigious restaurant, to becoming one of New York City's most coveted chefs. But beyond that, this story is about how brilliance often hides in the most unexpected places. Marcus, my older brother, was the family's golden boy. While I dabbled with unconventional recipes in our parents' kitchen, he was advancing in the business world, getting his MBA and forging valuable connections in the restaurant industry. By the time he was 30, he was the proud owner of the Golden Pearl, one of Manhattan's top dining spots with a long waitlist and high-profile clientele that included celebrities and culinary critics. As for me, I had left business school to pursue my passion for cooking, a decision that branded me as the family disappointment. Cooking is for workers, not for entrepreneurs, Dad would mutter, clearly unimpressed. After I lost my position as a line cook during the pandemic, Marcus offered me a job as a dishwasher. "Be grateful," he said, leading me to the basement kitchen. A lot of people would jump at the chance to work at the Golden Pearl, even doing dishes. What Marcus didn't realize was that while I washed pots and pans, I was soaking in every dish that came back to the kitchen, every critique, every compliment. I learned everything, and more importantly, I noticed the gaps in his innovative menu. Late at night, after the staff had gone home, I started experimenting. The night crew became my unofficial taste testers. Maria, who'd been with the restaurant for 15 years, was the first to catch on. "This soup," she said one evening, tasting my latest creation. "It reminds me of home, but with a twist. It's better." That's how the secret menu was born. It began with special dishes for the cleaning staff, then for the late-night waiters. Soon, regular patrons who had befriended the servers started asking for off-menu items. Marcus, too busy with celebrities and managing his restaurant empire, didn't notice that some of his most loyal customers were sneaking in at odd hours asking for dishes he had never heard of. And then the turning point arrived. I was deep in the dish pit when James, our head waiter, rushed in. "Alex, table 12 wants to meet the chef behind their dinner," he said. My hands froze in the soapy water. "What did they order?" "The Korean-French fusion special," he replied. "The one not on the menu." My stomach sank. "Who's at table 12? "Michelle Chin, the food critic from the New York Times, and she's dining with Gordon Ramsay." And then I heard Marcus's voice booming from upstairs. "Off-menu items. I'm the only one who approves changes to the menu here." Little did he know, everything was about to change. The drama unfolded like an episode from a reality cooking show. Marcus stormed into the kitchen, his pristine suit a stark contrast to the chaos and steam of the restaurant. "Someone's been cooking unauthorized dishes in my kitchen," he shouted, his voice bouncing off the stainless steel. "Who's responsible?" Before anyone could respond, James appeared at the top of the stairs. "Sir, Michelle Chin is insisting on meeting the chef. She says it's the best fusion cuisine she's had in New York." Marcus looked perplexed. But Chef Pierre didn't make any special dishes tonight. He's been serving the regular menu. That's when Chef Pierre, our French executive chef, stepped forward. "Mr. Chang, I need to confess something. These special dishes, they've been happening after hours, for months now." Marcus's anger flared. "In my restaurant, without my knowledge? I could have stayed silent, kept washing dishes, and let my creations grow through word of mouth. But something in me snapped. I wiped my hands on my apron and walked out of the dish pit. "The dishes are mine, Marcus." The kitchen fell silent. Marcus stared at me as if he had never seen me before. "You? The dishwasher?" he asked. I corrected him. "The guy who's been cooking since he was 12, who trained in Korean and French cuisine before you decided I was only good enough to clean dishes." Chef Pierre cleared his throat. "Marcus, your brother's food is extraordinary. The staff, we've been eating it. The fusion, the balance of flavors, it's remarkable." Marcus scoffed. "He's a dropout, a failure. He can't." "Then explain this," James interrupted, holding up his phone. On the screen was a post from Michelle Chin, just minutes old. "At Golden Pearl, experiencing the most innovative fusion cuisine I've encountered in years. A secret menu that far surpasses the regular offerings. This mysterious chef is reinventing Korean-French cuisine in ways that leave the standard menu in the dust." Hashtag voice the chef. The post had already gone viral. As Marcus read it, his face shifted from crimson to pale. Gordon Ramsay is still waiting to meet the chef, James added quietly. He wants to discuss opportunities. Marcus gripped the nearest counter, his fingers white with tension. This isn't happening. This can't be happening. But it was. And the next steps would forever alter New York's culinary scene. I'll take care of this, Marcus said, straightening his tie. I'll go tell them our executive chef is unavailable. No, I replied, removing my apron. No more lies, Marcus. No more hiding. Chef Pierre handed me a fresh chef's coat. Here, go meet them properly. As I changed, the kitchen staff gathered around, offering words of encouragement. They bid my secret taste testers goodbye, knowing things were about to get real. For the past year, you've all been my true family. Kim, our line cook, just told me something I'll never forget. The dumplings you made last week, he said. My grandmother cried when she tasted them. She said they were better than her own, pure genius. And Chef Pierre added, I've spent 30 years cooking French cuisine, and I never thought such a fusion was possible. As Marcus watched this unfold, his perfect world started to unravel. You can't go up there, he snapped. You'll embarrass the restaurant. You'll embarrass me just like you always do. I finished buttoning up my chef's coat. You had me washing dishes even though I've trained more than half of your kitchen staff. At that moment, James burst into the room. Miss Chin wants to know if the chef would prepare something special from the off-menu items. Mr. Ramsay specifically asked to watch the preparation. Marcus stepped in front of me seething. This is my restaurant. I'll decide what happens here. Actually, Chef Pierre cut in, pulling out a stack of papers. I need you to see something, Marcus. He laid out the revenue reports from the past 6 months. The late-night crowds, the repeat customers. Alex's food is why they're coming back. During off-peak hours, our revenue doubled. The secret menu is bringing in more money than our regular service. Chef Pierre continued, showing Marcus his phone. This is why I've turned down other job offers. I've been learning from Alex. His techniques, his flavors, they're groundbreaking. Marcus stood there stunned, staring at the reports, then at me, and finally at the kitchen staff who had gathered behind me, supporting me. For the first time, he wasn't in control. And then we heard it, applause from the dining room. We could see Michelle Chin showing her phone to the other diners. The buzz about the secret menu was spreading fast. I straightened my chef's coat and headed toward the stairs, ready to face my brother. This moment would not only change everything between us, but it would also shake the culinary world to its core. As I entered the dining room, followed by Marcus and the kitchen team, it fell silent. Michelle Chin and Gordon Ramsay sat at the center, surrounded by dishes from my secret menu. You're the chef? Michelle asked, inspecting me. I am, I answered, my voice steady despite the butterflies. Alex Chang, she asked again. I nodded. She glanced at Marcus. Are you related? To him, Marcus said, his voice low. He's my brother, the owner of this restaurant. Gordon Ramsay stood up. The Korean-French fusion tasting menu you've prepared. Absolutely brilliant. The balance of flavors, the technical mastery. Why isn't this on your regular menu? Before Marcus could respond, I spoke up. Because until tonight, I was just the dishwasher. The next hour was unforgettable. In front of an open kitchen, I demonstrated a new dish while Gordon Ramsay watched, asking about my methods. Michelle Chin streamed the entire process to her millions of followers. Her post read, The secret chef of the Golden Pearl revealed. From dishwasher to culinary genius. The real story behind NYC's most talked about secret menu. By midnight, my phone was flooded with calls from food critics, TV producers, and restaurant owners. But the most significant conversation took place after the customers had left. Marcus sat across from me, drained. Why didn't you tell me? Would you have listened? I asked. When was the last time you saw me as anything but a failure? He sat in silence for a moment. I was wrong, he finally admitted. I focused too much on the business, on appearances, and I forgot what matters most in a restaurant, the food, the passion, the creativity. The next day, Marcus held a staff meeting and stunned everyone by announcing, I'm restructuring the Golden Pearl. I will become executive chef and co-owner, with full control over the menu. Alex's secret dishes will become our new signature offerings. Over the next year, the Golden Pearl underwent a transformation. We opened a chef's table where I could experiment with new fusion dishes. Our waiting list expanded from 3 months to a year. We earned our 3rd Michelin star, praised specifically for our innovative Korean-French fusion cuisine. Marcus, too, found joy again. balancing the business side of the restaurant with a deep appreciation for the culinary arts. Together, we even opened a cooking school, teaching aspiring chefs that innovation can come from anywhere, even from a dishwasher's late-night experiments. Just last week, we had a family dinner at the restaurant. Dad, who had once dismissed cooking as employee work, proudly showed his friends articles about my success. Mom just smiled, secretly proud of the dishes I'd always experimented with. As I sit in my new office above the kitchen, I hear the sounds of dinner service below. My old dishwashing apron hangs on the wall, framed as a reminder that every role in a restaurant is essential, and that true passion can't be confined by titles or expectations. The Golden Pearl is more successful than ever, but it's finally what it was always meant to be, a place where tradition and creativity come together, where every team member is valued and where the most unexpected places can breed the most innovative dishes. Sometimes the best recipes for success come from starting at the bottom and staying humble enough to learn from every position, even that of a dishwasher. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Stay inspired.